Hello, I'm Joseph List with 4th of July, and I'm here to answer some questions from the audience members. Boy, are they excited. Just kidding. I'm about to do Q&A after 4th of July, and I'm scared to death. They hate me. I suck. What do I know? I can't do Q&A. Hopefully somebody has a Q. I'm going to tell Chuck to ask the Qs.
There are some Qs.
I love the A's. A couple Qs. Hey, who cares about me? No one cares.
They're excited to hear that.
I hope they like the movie.
That's why they're here. They care about me.
Yes! They like me.
Yes.
I'm good.
Yes.
Fuck you. All right, none of that's making the cut. Oh God, the crowd's leaving. They hated it. I can feel it. Oh God. Come to the Q&A. Oh God. Oh, they're all leaving. They hated it. They hated it. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Sorry. I'm just going to point out everyone that was an asshole on set. Oh, she was horrible. Just kidding. Oh, hey.
How long was production?
Production was fast. The question is, how long is production? And it was very quick. We shot 5 days in New York City and then 11 days in Lake George, New York, which is supposed to be Maine. That was Lake George. Movie magic, folks. Sir.
I have a question. Watching this movie, I kept thinking like how much of this is either autobiographical or people you knew or were with and were writing about them. And so, and if it's not, I'm interested in the process of imagining these people.
It's relatively autobiographical in that I'm a Boston guy who is sober, an artist. I'm a comedian. I know it's hard to tell here, but I don't play piano. Not hard to tell. Hey.
Hello. As far as the casting goes, I mean, I recognize Nick DiPaolo, or Bobby Kelly, but like, how many of those people are actors? How many maybe? I mean, I just felt like a lot of those people are like not what you typically see in like a movie. So I'm just curious about their backgrounds.
Yeah, Nick DiPaolo. It's funny, we had come up with a character for Uncle Kevin, and we were auditioning people, and a lot of the people through Boston Casting. And a lot of people just looked kind of older or skinny, and some of the people I thought they have to be intimidating because I would just punch this guy. Like it's like there was people that were good actors, but they just looked like an old man, and I'm like, why would I let this guy? I would just shove that guy. And so we kind of thought he's got to be intimidating. He should look like he's served and still works out. And we just kind of had this moment. I said, this is Nick. Nick DiPaolo is a close friend of ours. And I said, this is Nick. I mean, it's who it is. And so we just called him, and he did it, and he was awesome. And he's improvising so much stuff in there that's so funny. At the very end, he says, no pineapple on the pizza, and she says, it's real tasty. And he says, do you put blueberries on your marinara? And that was improvised. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard anybody say. And I like co-wrote the movie, so a lot of times I would just be like, I'll just say something in the general idea. I understand the story, so I'll just say things, and you could tell they were like, oh Jesus, this guy didn't memorize any lines. But they were amazing. I thought they were just tremendous. So.
No, it was a really good movie. You know, the best movies I think are a little sad, a little happy, and I was crying, I was laughing, I was like,
He loves it.
chuckling, and Joe was so great. We love Joe.
Clip that. Joe is so good. Put it in there.
He needs a raise.
The only character that mattered, he whispered to me. I don't know.
When you finished filming compared to like the actual finished product, were you involved in all like the editing and everything? Because there was also like a lot of interesting film and just ways the movie was actually like directed.
Yeah, so Louis edited himself, and he was on the road. Like he was doing a tour in Europe and just editing on the bus. It's pretty unbelievable how he's able to compartmentalize and do multiple things at once. So I wasn't physically there when he was cutting, but he'd literally shoot it on his iPhone and text me and go, what do you think of this? That was basically the process. if that makes sense. I hope all these answers are satisfying. I don't know.
What was a place that got a laugh that you weren't expecting to get a laugh?
The main thing that got a huge laugh is when I go to first try to confront my parents and it doesn't go well, and then it pans over to my father and he just takes a sip of his Bud Light. Like, we were at the Beacon Theater, that was like an explosive laugh, and I was like, I thought that was sad. Like, he just kind of looks depressed and is drinking a beer because he can't face anything, but people laughed.
Did you test the film on anybody before release?
No, we did no test on it. So we showed just close friends cuts of the movie, and that's a lot of people that got thanked. We showed Chris Rock, and he was one of the ones that said it's more of a drama, I think. And it was nice because when Chris watched the movie, he said, you know, the uncle's right. Jeff's wrong. You shouldn't do that. And that was a great response because that's what we wanted, is to people be like, what is this? Why is he doing that? The test audience was 2,000 people at the Beacon Theater, and they seemed to like it. I didn't ask everybody individually, but a lot of them seem to like it. At least someone in here really hated it. I can just feel the vibe, but just keep it quiet, be cool. But yeah, so no, we didn't really test it.
It was great, really recommend it. It was funny, serious, messed up family. Joe did a great job. It's weird to see Joe as an actor. I'm very used to him as a comedian and in the podcast, but it was awesome. Just super pumped to be here.
Yeah, what did you expect?
Based on the reviews, I thought it was going to suck. But knowing him, I thought it was going to be great. But knowing Joe, I thought it was going to be great, and it was great. So there you go.
That's awesome.
The therapy felt pretty real to me, and so I'm wondering, I'm like in school in psychology, and I'm wondering if you spoke to psychologists or if it's just from experience.
No, that was pretty much, it was very similar to my experience. My therapist is a kind of a funny guy, and we've had very similar conversations like that, to like going from why don't you confront your parents to like, it seems like you're not going to confront your parents, so why don't you just accept this? And the you're not suffering enough came straight from my therapist. And it's funny because we've gotten a lot of feedback that said, oh, this is a bad therapist, and I'm watching, there's so many things that I'm like, what? I think he's great. Like, I think that's a good therapist to me, he kind of pushes Jeff and says, maybe you should accept it. And like, and he kind of tries to warn him, like, I don't think you're able to do this, which was the case. Jeff wasn't able to do it properly. And eventually he just snaps, and then everything goes back to the way it was, as things tend to do in families like that. So it's pretty close to my therapist, at least. Maybe I got a bad therapist, but I love him.
I thought it was a really interesting idea that you said that you thought it was dramatic because you were writing about your own life. Have you ever had any experience with dramatic writing before? Because I know you're stand-up.
Oh, thanks.
And would you ever do it again?
I hate comedy that has any kind of like, and here's the thing, like I don't like, that's another comedian laughing at that. I just hate earnest, lesson comedies. But I think there's a lot of dramatic things, and I have a dark brain that I'd like to explore things like that and relationships and stuff like that. So if I was going to do comedy and film, it's a sketch. Obviously, in stand-up, I'm doing comedy. So yeah, I think with a film, I want it to be dramatic. I like drama movies better. There's only like 12 comedy movies that I actually like. I like comedy that comes from real life, if that makes sense. It's hard to not sound unbelievably pretentious talking. This goes against everything comedy, so sorry, I hate myself.
Oh my God! It was the best movie I've ever seen. I saw it 3 times. I see something new every time.
What did you see new this time?
Oh my God! The pizza looked better.
Did you enjoy What About Bob?
I love What About Bob. Great movie. And then my therapist, ironically, was like, obviously you're paying tribute to What About Bob, and I was like, we never even thought of that. I don't know. We maybe subconsciously stole it. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Oh, geez, another question. I'll stay here all day. I got nothing to do.
Do you, as a general rule, read reviews of this or other work?
I read the reviews. They're not good. But Wall Street Journal said we're one of the best movies of the year. And I love the Wall Street Journal. If there's one paper I love, it's the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, I read some of the reviews. I mean, some of them I'm like, oh, all right, I guess that's fair. And some I just straight up disagree with. I mean, one review I read that was like, there's no way this guy could come from this family, which is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. It's like a cliche. Everyone in New York is like, I got to go home and talk to my Trump parents. It's like, and also they were like, Jeff's too sophisticated. I actually don't find Jeff to be that sophisticated. I think he just knows how to play the piano. because when he tries to express himself, he's just saying "fuck this" and "fuck that." I got to be honest, the reviews have not bothered me as much as I thought they would. Especially that Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
That guy rules. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh my God, it was so good. I couldn't believe every moment was better than the last. I already bought tickets for the next screening. Oh my God, it's him! It's him! It's Jeff! Whoa!